Welcome to Martin Talks and welcome to my vision for a more useful education system. I agree that education is a controversial issue. I'm going to give my opinion regarding what they should teach in schools, or if I had to write the course outlines. And of course, your opinions are welcome. That's why we have a comment section below. I believe in focusing on what's truly useful in the real world. And I also submit it can be very tricky to decide what to include in a course outline, because another issue is prerequisites. Let's say I say to you, in my opinion, students should not learn these subjects. And let's say that's a prerequisite to get into certain colleges or universities. Well, then they have to learn those subjects. But that brings up another topic. What are should be the correct prerequisites for college and university? And that's another interesting thing we can talk about. Another issue, of course, if a school has, let's say, 500 students, it's not humanly possible to have 500 different course outlines for each and every student. It's a nice thought, but it's not possible. So we do the best we can. And of course, for any individual student, we don't have a crystal ball. If we can foretell the future that in 10 years now, this will be the case, or 20 years from now, we will do these courses now. But unfortunately, we don't have that crystal ball, so we try our best. And so I'm going to give my opinion, what I think is most useful in general and to benefit most people. Regarding mathematics, some people are going to love me for this, some people are going to hate me, but here it is anyway. I think for most students, you need to learn math up to grade 10. And then instead of grade 11 and grade 12, you learn grades 8, 9, and 10 more and revise and revise. It's better to know up to grade 10 extremely well than to know up to grade 12 pretty good. Because in daily life, what do we deal with? We deal with percentages, calculating the area, needing to know the perimeter, how to manage money. It's not often a typical person has to learn about the quadratic equation or calculus. And the one exception, obviously, is those who are going to pursue a career in mathematics. Then most certainly it's a good thing to study past grade 10 mathematics. And not just that, I'm not being selfish. I love mathematics. Putting myself first, I think it's the best thing in the world that could happen, that we teach higher mathematics. And also, I also believe in certain real life skills, such as, for example, banking, learning how banks works, how to manage money responsibly, teaching students about contracts, why we have contracts, when to sign them, when not to sign them, and all the risks involved with contracts. And what I also believe very strongly is learning about scams and frauds and how to be aware of them. They affect people of all ages, and not just in school, but even as adults, people should continue learning, because as technology improves, scams and frauds improve with technology. That's why that's definitely an ongoing education. Regarding one's first language, here some people might love me or hate me for saying this. There should be less emphasis on figures of speech or how do you define this word, but more about in real life when to use this language. This is professional language. This is less professional language. In this situation, it's better to use this terminology, etc. It's understanding different situations. And regarding the second language, knowing one language extremely well is much better than some of this language and some of that language. So if we are going to have a second language, I believe the students should pick the one of choice, start at an early age, and just stick to it throughout their career in elementary school, high school, and that'll be really good to have that extra language with them. And regarding economics and accounting, I believe in learning for most students the basics, where it will affect in real life, such as in taxes or creating a budget. I'm talking about essential tools for navigating adult life. And once again, those who have a specific career in those fields, then naturally learn more about those topics. And as well, I think it's good for students to learn about health and hygiene. And the other thing, this is a similar concept to all the topics I've talked about. It might be better to learn less topics about health and hygiene, but have it reiterated and ingrained and instilled in the brain. Because it's not just how many things you learned at school, it's how much you remember at a later stage. That's why maybe it's better to learn less things and know it really well. And obviously, if there'll be less topics, you pick what's most important. And on a similar topic, there's physical and mental well-being, anything in that field relating to health, and really learn very much about addiction, what causes addiction, what are warning signs of addiction, how to suspect you have an addiction, how to handle someone with addiction, how it affects people. That would be really good to learn that topic really well. And regarding the sciences such as physics and chemistry, again, not everyone will like what I'm about to say. I think here again, I think a student should just learn the basics, how it will help them in everyday life. Beyond that, it's if you're going to work in a field that requires chemistry or physics. I also believe in teaching real-world relationships, anything to do with relating with people, be it at the job or at home, or even what's different about how to relate. Of course, it's always good to be friendly, but there's friendly with your family, there's friendly with a distant friend, there's friendly on a professional level, even learning the different types of friendly. And something else interesting, getting on the topic of when people have a breakup, let's say friends and family talk to each other and unfortunately something happens and they no longer talk to each other. If we can find the root causes of what causes that to happen and how to prevent that from happening, I think that will make people happy in life. And of course, I believe in inclusion and understanding, learning about all types of disabilities, physical, cognitive, neurological, and the more we learn, the better, and learn to treat others with respect, patience, and empathy. Actually, I do believe in teaching history. I designed a way to teach it properly, but that's a whole entirely different video, but I will say I do believe in teaching history. And regarding homework, that is a controversial topic in that I've often seen discussion or people saying, should students be given homework? I actually do believe in homework, including revision from the past, because it's a great way to revise what you've learned. And a student has learned in more than one way, the teacher telling them and writing it down or reading it. It's the more different ways, the more likely to remember it. So I do believe in homework, it reinforces, but here's my little warning. What I don't believe is in giving homework just for the sake of it. Like, I've been taught that one's supposed to give homework, right, so let's give homework. It doesn't mean you have to give homework every time. One has to think before the homework, is this going to help the students? If it will benefit them, then I'll give it to them. But I don't believe in just giving homework because we believe in giving homework. And those are my thoughts for preparing students to navigate the world. And I believe in teaching them all of how to handle life financially, emotionally, socially, and mentally. I gave my thoughts. What do you think is the right thing for the school system? Should we keep it the same? Should we change it? As always, your comments below are very welcome. And I know you've heard this before. You're probably sick of hearing this, but I'm going to foist onto you again this little saying. Please click the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Thank you all and take care.